Well, hi everybody. I can't believe it. I'm actually back racing on YouTube, and I'm so excited for so many different reasons, but I'll share those with you as we get going. But I am going to share with you at Las Vegas. This is race 4 of the 2021 season. And again, I'll expand on that here in a little bit. But this is stage 3 only. I ran stage 1 and stage 2 offline, and I'm only going to broadcast stage 3 of these races. So let's just get this thing started, and I'll fill you in more as I get a few laps in and things thin out a little bit. Here we go. So we got 52 laps to go in the race here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I started the race in the 23rd position, and through some pit strategy, won stage 1. Went back in for fuel and tires before stage 2, came out in first, and managed to keep the car up front for that. So we starting stage 3 in the front, so we'll see if we can't get the sweep and bring this thing home. So I've been away from YouTube for quite a while, mostly because I decided I wanted to run some longer races. And those races can then run, like an hour and a half or more. And I didn't want to, well, I can't even upload that much footage to YouTube at the same time anyway. So I thought, well, we'll keep doing it, and we'll just put the third stage on and fill you in on what's going on. So the exciting things for me that have happened is multi. First thing is the racing rig went through a thorough rebuild and cleaning. I wasn't content with the positioning of the monitor in relationship to the wheel and such. So I basically tore the whole thing down to the base frame. The seat was still there and the pedals were still there, but otherwise everything was gone. I repositioned the butt kickers, which don't work on this game, but hopefully they will in the next. I repositioned the pedals. I bought some new 120 millimeter by 40 millimeter profile to increase the width of the uprights for the monitor and the motor mount, to give me the stagger between the two that I needed and wanted. So I now have the monitor much closer to me, but not covering up the motor as a result. So very, very pleased with how it came out. It just finished it last night. Had to do some work and getting the PC configured, had to update some software, had to reinstall some software. Did a brief test earlier today, trying to just use the mic in the camera, but that did not sound good at all. So I guess I really do have to say that this video is going to serve as a test, as well as a race. So I'll take a listen to it later on, and if I need to tweak some things, then I know that what I need to do. But I'm hopefully, and pretty sure that the sound should be a whole lot better, or comparable to at least what it was, before, years ago, or I'm sorry, months ago. So that's one thing. The rig is up and running again. It feels great. Very happy with the effort that I had to put in. Kay was a big help to me. My wife was a big help to me, because some of this stuff's kind of heavy and awkward for one person to work with. So she helped me. So we got, looks like Harvick on our outside now. And got Keselowski back behind him. So let me concentrate here for a little bit, and then I'll tell you more about some of the new things. As you can tell, I am driving from inside. I'm trying to make this as realistic as I can. I've worked with settings and things, and being inside the cabin of the car, inside the greenhouse, is really, where the driving should be done from. So it's harder uh, than driving with the hood view. Oh, I got Keselowski underneath me. Hold on. Okay, we're going to drop to second, third with Harvick out there. So that the rig build, reconfiguring of the build, getting it finished, uh, was exciting for me, and I'm very, very happy with how it came out. Turned out really great. The next thing I wanted to share with you is that, and I should have looked up the gentleman's name who did this, or the young guy's name who did this, but somebody put together all of the paint schemes of the 2021 cars, the driver assignments, any number changes, sponsor changes, all that stuff. So those have all been updated and downloaded into my PC, and I am now running the 2021 cars this season. Now, not all of the new tracks that will be run are available because this is the game from 2020. So, for example, race 2 of the real season was the Daytona Road Course. So, what they did for that is they plugged in Mid-Ohio, another road course, as a road race for race 2. So, that's how they dealt with that. And I suspect, if memory serves, in the real schedule, when they go to Indianapolis this year, they're going to run the Indy road course instead of the oval. So I don't know if they'll schedule a different road course or if we'll run the Indy oval for Indy when that comes up, later. But it's kind of fun. I'm obviously tracking behind the real season, but I'll get caught up as soon as I can and going forward. So these are 50% races, 2 times tire wear and fuel, max difficulty, and driving inside the car instead of hood cam or chase view. And it does require, pit stops on the stages. And sometimes those are green flags, obviously, sometimes they're not. So, got all the new schemes. I mean, like, for example, Jimmy Johnson's not in the race anymore. Alex Bowman is driving the 48. Bubba Wallace is in the 23 Toyota that Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin own. Stuff like that. So you've got you got a few drivers that are sporadic in the season, but for the most part, you've got the current drivers, cars, sponsors, numbers, all that good stuff. So that is awesome. The other part of the download that I wanted to tell you about, and I know right now you can't see it on my car, but the guy who put this together, he actually downloaded some, you might call them fantasy paint schemes. You got, I could drive the Days of Thunder car. I could drive the Wonder Bread car from Talladega Nights. Dale Earnhardt's black number 3 is in here. Let's see what else. Terry Labonte's Kellogg's number 5 is available if I would have wanted to drive that. But what I chose to drive was who was really my favorite driver for probably the majority of my life, and that was Dale Earnhardt Jr. I am in the red number 8 Budweiser Chevy, and it's got my name up on the driver list, but on the car it says Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the character that, it was also, of course, made to look like Dale Earnhardt Jr. So, what fun to be able to drive Dale's car, run as close as we can to the 2021 schedule in 2021, and then also have the option to drive those other cars, whether it's just a fun race at a certain track. Caution flag has come out. We are going to go into the pits, and I'll go ahead and do everything. Well, what fun to be able to do that. What fun to be able to be racing again, have the rig reconfigured in such a way that I just really enjoy it. I enjoy the perspective of the monitor, the wheel, everything. It's just, I can't begin to tell you how excited I am. So very sorry I've been away so long. I know you've had plenty of other people you could watch, but I'm just appreciative to be able to race again and to have the ability and option to broadcast to YouTube for those who have any interest in watching. So we're going to restart in 4th, drop the spot. We're on the outside. We got Chase Elliott to our inside, Harvick and Keselowski out in front of us. We've got 30 laps to go, and that fuel supply gave me 30 laps. So we likely are in a situation where we should not have to pit again. And there is Kyle Larson in the number 5, having an incredible season for Hendricks. Ryan Blaney got around me. So we dropped a couple spots on this restart. 29 to go. It's all right. We've got plenty of time. And a little bit of information, I would say, has become available on the new NASCAR game. There's not, that I know of, there's not an absolute date, but I believe it's going to be in the latter part of September. Lately, they've been coming out early in September, but it's a whole new developer. And what's exciting about that is, in large part due to the new PlayStation and Xbox consoles, they are starting completely from scratch. It's not going to be a rebuild of this game. They're going to start completely over. I'm sure it's safe to say that all the new tracks will be included in that. I expect the graphics to be even better. I've heard the tire model for tire wear is just incredible and realistic. I think we're going to see, when you do a green flag pit stop, well, any pit stop for that matter, I think you're going to see that when you come down pit road, you're not going to lose control of your car to the computer. I don't think you're going to have simulated pit stops, although that's just speculation. I'm hopeful that you won't have simulated pit stops. There was a game from actually quite a few years ago from this same developer, and you actually drove your car right out of the garage, through the garage area, out to the pit road, down pit road, onto the track to practice. All of that is all kind of like simulated. In this game, you just start on pit road, start the car up, go out and do practice laps, or whatever the case may be. And in the when pit stops happen, your computer takes control of my car. Like when I cross a yellow line, I lose control. It just does it from there. So I think it's going to really be awesome if all those things do happen, and you have a tire model that gives you more realistic wear on the tires. Uh, you, and that's an important part of the strategy of real NASCAR racing. And games are fun, and this is a game, and that will be a game. But to truly have as close of a simulation experience as you can just makes the whole thing a lot more enjoyable. So we're still kind of hanging with the leaders here. Definitely, got a good car. Uh, the stage one victory was truly all about pit strategy. And I think the stage two victory was more about clean air. And now that I've gotten stuck behind a couple of cars, I'm not doing quite as good as I was. But the the other thing is we're going to be looking, if we take this all the way to the end because of the more laps of stage three, we're going to be looking at a full fuel run, tire wear run to the end if this thing stays green. Now that's something I haven't done yet. I've run, instead of 30 laps, yeah, I run 37, 38 laps, but there was a additional pit stop in there. So I might only did, say, 20 or 20 to 25 on the same tires. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We're now in fourth place. Brad Keselowski in the Ford is up front. Chase Elliott, number 9, in the Chevy of Hendrick, number 2. Kevin Harvick's Ford, number 3, and our Chevy, number 4. We're starting to put a little bit of distance. It's kind of turning into a bit of a 4-car breakaway right here. I am interested, by the way, in your feedback on a few things. If you are so inclined, I'd like to let me know how the audio sounds in relationship to the track noise, engine noise, that kind of thing. If I need to make any kind of adjustments with that. Curious what you think of the in-car look. In sim racing, there's what's called field of view, which is supposed to give you the ability to adjust your view out the windshield to what would be as realistic as possible. And this game does not have any option to do that. I made a little bit of adjustment on the YouTube video as best I could, but what I see in the monitor in front of me, I can't do anything with. So I'm just kind of curious what your thoughts are on the in-car perspective. Haven't really well, now not quite. I say we haven't quite cleared Chase Elliott just yet. Got him now. So that's going to move us up to third. There's 17 laps left. 17 laps of the race, stage 3. Again, I ran stage 1 and stage 2 offline. And that's going to be my plan, is to do that for all the races and just broadcast stage 3. We are right at it on fuel. I do have a gauge off to my left that indicates that everything appears that I've got enough to make it, but just barely. Harvick kind of pinched me down there a little bit, lost a little momentum, had to get out of the gas. He's going to go back around me. I was afraid he was going to check up too much on me there. Got a little bit of a draft, going to get a run on him here in the backstretch. I did win at Daytona. which I've always had a pretty good car there. Had a terrible run at the road course at Ohio. I'm not a good road racer at all, especially at that track, but I made up my mind I was going to do it. I may not always broadcast those races. We'll see. They're certainly not anything to be proud of. But yeah, Mid Ohio, I think I finished 34th or 35th or something. And it's been a while now since I even ran race 3, and off the top of my head, I can't even remember where that was at. Might have been Atlanta, but I'm not sure. Ooh, Keselowski's getting a little bit jammed up here. So lap traffic's going to start to figure into this as far as how well we can get around it. Boy, they're slow. Try and use them as a pick. And at least for the moment, looks like we got Keselowski cleared, and we're going to take over the race lead. With 11 laps remaining. Fuel does not appear to be an issue. Tires are right around 60%, except the back right, 52. A little more wear back there. Well, it'd be okay with me if this thing would stay green now. Nine laps left. Chase Elliott's taken over the second position. Oh, this is fun. I'm so happy with how this rebuild turned out. Well, car's getting a little bit tight. The tire wear. Come on, Michael McDowell. Five laps to go. 5 away from a sweep of the stages. Las Vegas has always been a good track for me. was a little surprised. I had a couple little hiccups on the qualifying effort, so to start 23rd, I wasn't too concerned about it because I knew the car was better than that. But it has been a learning curve though to drive inside the cab, uh, but it's fun once you give yourself the chance to learn it that way. One thing's for sure, at least I got rid of the video wheel. You can have it if you want it, but for me, that's very distracting. 5 cars right in front of me. They get on the gas to get around them, and then I was going into the corner a little bit faster than I wanted to at that angle. That approach angle was a little flat, but we're okay. Last lap. I'm going to have about 1 lap to spare on fuel. So here we go. We're going to take the checkered flag in race 4 of the 2021 season. Oh my gosh! I hit the wall! And I still, holy smokes, bragging about taking the checkered flag, and I clip the wall, the car spins out, but but I had a big enough lead to cross the finish line. There's a little bit of footage from the early part of the race, and now you can see the number 8 Budweiser Chevy that I'm racing right now. Let that go just a little bit. Oh, what a crazy ending. Sorry about that. Boy, it's nice to see that car on the track again. So looking out to my side here, I can see the finishing order. I pick up the win. Chase Elliott came in second. Denny Hamlin third. Kevin Harvick fourth. Brad Keselowski fifth. Kyle Larson, Martin Truex, Joey Logano, and Ryan Blaney and Kurt Busch round out the positions 6 through 10. So let's I'll move ahead here. And in the point standings, that's my 3rd win in 4 races. Chase Elliott is in 2nd place. Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, William Byron, Martin Truex, Brad Keselowski, Kyle Larson, Michael McDowell, and Ryan Blaney. Let's go down and see who's eligible so far. And it would be Alex Bowman 11th, Denny Hamlin 12th, Austin Dillon 13th, Chris Buescher 14th, Kyle Busch 15th, and Christopher Bell rounding out the top 16 who would advance into the playoffs should it end today. So that is going to end race 4 at Las Vegas in the Budweiser Chevy. Thank you so much for watching now or later. Greatly appreciate it. And looking forward to being back on the track, being back on YouTube with some NASCAR Heat 5 action and being in the 2021 season, as well as driving the retro, in a sense, number 8 Dale Earnhardt Chevy. So thanks again. See you again real soon.